guys, just thought I'd run you through a quick video on some rotten bottom methods which are available on the market, and the ones that I prefer and the ones that I think that don't work as well as they should, and the reasoning behind it. This one is a Genie breaker. They're available in packets of 5. I like the way these work because they're pretty much foolproof. They have to unclip because of the water force on that red little disc there. But the only reason why I don't use this is because of my OCD. I like to have the bait tight behind the lead, and there's like a 3-inch gap there. It won't bother a lot of people, but for me, I won't use it just for the fact that the bait is quite high up from behind the lead. But yeah, it's pretty, it's a good little clip, that is. I do like that, but I wouldn't use it just because of my OCD. But what I do use is this little beauty, the pin and foam. It's foolproof. I've been using this for over 20 years. It's never let me down. In over 20 years of using this, I've never had one come back in still with a pin in. I did a session over high water, clean ground many years ago, just to trial it, just to make sure it is working. And it came back in unclipped every single time. And on the other rod, I had this method, which we all use, and it is the upside down Gemini bait clip. The reason why I don't think these work as well as they should is because, not like the pin and foam where you need the pin fighting every second it's in the water to pull the pin out, you need slack for this to work. So when it hits a seabed, if you've got strong wind and strong tide, which is keeping your line tight at all times, when it hits the seabed, if you don't get that split second of slack, I don't think that this unclips. That's the reason why. I had so many casts come in when I was fishing Nell's Point with this still clipped up that if I caught a fish over rough ground, it'd have been a lost fish. But I find when it's rolling down tide, it's not giving it any options or any reasoning to unclip. Because I'll show you another method now which I used to use, and the reason why I don't use it anymore is the Canny link. We've all seen it, we've all heard of it. It's a nice little clip. It's a lovely little clip. It tucks your bait in right behind your lead. They're cheap enough, they're great. What I was doing, I was down Stout one night, and when these first came out on the market, and when something new comes out, we all jump on the bandwagon and we always want to try something new. And the first 3 casts, Ryan Wingfield will remember this, my first 3 casts, I lost blondes in line snags, and I was thinking maybe the blonde has gone in the line snag and won't come out. So on my 4th cast, I had another blonde on. It got jammed up in pretty much the same place. So I left the rod on the stand for over half hour, got my 2nd rod out, and I still had some items in my box to use pin and foam, so I switched back to pin and foam. About half hour later, the right hand rod went slack. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's broke free. And it had. I fought the blonde all the way in, and I landed it with a lead clip still on the Canny link. So it goes to show that previous casts I had before that blonde, I possibly lost those fish due to the lead not coming off the Canny link, so I don't use them anymore. And that pretty much is the same method as the upside down Gemini rig clip. You need that slack for that to come out. Otherwise, how is it going to come out? It's simple. It's not going to come out. You've got the Genie breaker, which releases on impact. It's a brilliant item, this is. I love it. But if they made it half the size, then I'd be using them. But I like my bait tight behind the lead. But the pin and foam, it's simple, it's cheap to do, and it's reliable. The foam itself is 10mm square. A friend gave me this many years ago, sheets and sheets of it. I don't know where it's from. You can use the yellow foam, which is on scaffolding poles to protect the public on footpaths when scaffolding is up, or you can use grey foam from plumbing stores. I think it's called Lagging. It does the same thing. The most important thing is to have split rings that you have 100% confidence in casting. In 20 years, I've never had one fail on me. These are 13mm oval split rings. You can see them. I buy them in the thousands. The pin is 25mm long and it's extra strong. I've never had one go on a cast, even up to 8 ounces. The bait clip is irrelevant. You can use impact shields, solos, all types of bait clips. But what happens, I find, with this, when it's rolling down tide, that pin, that foam is fighting for that pin to come out. It has to come out. And then you're straight onto your weak link end. My weak link I prefer is £18 or £20 with a knot in it. But when I was fishing Nell's Point and Barrier over high water, this released every single cast. So I have 100% faith. If I lose a rig on the bottom now without a fish on, I'm 100% confident it's my hooks that are getting jammed up, not this, because this releases every single time. I'll go through it again. The Canny link, it's a nice little link. It will work, but I think you need no tide or barely any tide, because you need that bit of slack as the lead hits the bottom to release. The same as a Gemini rig clip upside down. There she is. There, you know, when it hits the seabed, you need that slack, because if you've got strong wind and strong tide, it's not going to unclip. That's my view. I might be wrong, but I've been in this game 28 years now, and I think my view is almost spot on, but I might be wrong. And then they got the Genie breaker. It's simple. As soon as it hits the water force pushes that clip up and off she comes. So they come in packs of 5. There you've got the Canny link from Tronics Pro there, and the pin and foam. You can buy the pins from B&Q, any hardware store, and the foam you can get pretty much plumbing places, or if you've got any friends in scaffolding. That's it really. Simple. On a board night when the weather's bad, cut a load of squares up, get your missus to help you put the pins in them, get a big bucket full, job done. So I hope my little video has put a few new ideas in your head about what works and what doesn't. I might be wrong, but all you can do is just give it a go. Thank you for watching. Hope it's put some more fish on the bank for you, and tight lines. All the best.